So NFL Week 4 is here, and for the San Francisco 49ers on their schedule, a big test awaits against the Arizona Cardinals. And coming up on today's show, we're going to preview this game at Levi Stadium. First, though, make sure you join us on Sunday for another watch party. It's going to be an absolute blast. Live play-by-play, audience interaction, super chat giveaways. We're going to do our 50-50 raffle once again on Venmo, and we're going to decide it with something different than a duck race. We're going to introduce new animals. See what I'm talking about on Sunday? That's why you hit that subscribe button. So everybody watching the program right now, I want you to get juiced up. Because after the Niners defeated the New York Giants on Thursday Night Football, we thought that the Niners were going to go seamlessly into this 10-day break, a little mini bye, and they were going to be able to stop the Arizona Cardinals. And this game wasn't going to be much of a test. But after Arizona at home was able to take down the Dallas Cowboys pretty convincingly by 12 points, this game immediately became one of the more interesting matchups on the Week 4 slate. And it especially has implications in the NFC West and in the NFC because Arizona could very easily be 3-0 this season. How are the Cardinals able to beat the Cowboys? Well, Joshua Dobbs sprung free for a 40-plus yard run. You had James Conner rushing 14 times for 98 yards. The Cardinals as a team, they tore apart Dallas's defense, running for 222 yards on the afternoon. And under Jonathan Gannon, this is a team that is sneakily pretty feisty here. And you look at the Week 4 betting odds, even though Arizona did take down a team that a lot of people were saying was the #1 team in the NFL, what a joke. It's the Dallas Cowboys. San Francisco getting a lot of credit here from the odds makers. They are still 2 touchdown favorites against Arizona. So the odds makers believe that San Francisco is the far superior team, which they are, and this might not be much of a game. The over-under at 44, and you could kind of look at this in a couple of different ways. Arizona has been a tough team that has been able to cover the spread as underdogs the first 3 weeks, and they could keep this game close, or coming off that high of Jonathan Gannon winning his first game as an NFL head coach, they're going to come crashing down to reality, and the talent pool for San Francisco is going to be too much to bear. As for how Arizona won that game, though, they ran 30 times for 222 yards, 7.5 yards per carry, and 2 touchdowns. Dallas might allow that. San Francisco is not going to let that fly. James Conner, as I mentioned, was really, really good. The Cardinals in that game and so far this season, they've been a physical football team. The Cardinals keeping it close in each of their matchups so far, 3-0 against the spread as underdogs. They could easily be 3-0, as I stated, and the early returns on Jonathan Gannon, pretty damn good. He was the Eagles' defensive coordinator, and then the Eagles' offensive coordinator, Shane Steichen, now the coach of the Indianapolis Colts. The early returns on him, pretty good as well. And we talk about those feisty Redbirds. 20-16 loss on the road Week 1 against the Commanders. They could have easily won that game at FedEx Field. Week 2, they were up 20-0 against the New York Giants. They pitched a shutout in that first half, and then they called for the tank, I believe, in that second half, and the Giants came back. But then in Week 3, kind of all came together, and they were able to take down the Cowboys in the upset of the weekend, 28-16. As for the Niners, we know that this team is rolling right now, and I know that everybody is obsessed with the Miami Dolphins. 70 points against the Denver Broncos, Week 1 against the Chargers. They couldn't be stopped. I think the jury is still out on Miami, and we saw how Miami played against the Niners last year. That was the game that Garoppolo got hurt. Brock Purdy comes in, and that defense was all over Tua Tagovailoa. And while they're putting up a bunch of points, do they have the overall all-around team that the Niners do? I don't think so. And in these games so far, you've seen the Niners be dominant in a couple of different ways. Running it, passing it, and then defensively against the aerial attack, they haven't given up a lot of explosive plays. They've been very good against the ground game as well. When I scout Arizona going into Sunday's matchup, what's interesting here, we talked about Arizona rushing for 222 yards against Dallas. They're actually number 6 in rushing yards per game among the 32 teams in the NFL, number 3 in rushing DVOA. James Conner is averaging more than 5 yards per carry, very physical back who 2 years ago in 2021, led the NFL in touchdowns for non-quarterbacks. And Josh Dobbs, who Arizona traded for right before the season, he's playing quarterback because Kyler Murray coming off that torn ACL. He's not throwing it a bunch, but when he is, he's making good decisions with the football. He's been accurate, completing 72% of his passes, 2 touchdowns, no picks. More on Arizona here. Where I think the Niners can win this matchup is with their interior defensive line. Javon Hargrave, what a signing he's been. He leads all defensive tackles in the NFL in quarterback pressures for interior defensive linemen, and the interior offensive line for the Cardinals is not good. Arizona is running a 3-4 defense under Jonathan Gannon. They do like to get aggressive, sometimes have that stand-up pass rusher, so you have to be aware of that. Colton McKivitz might get tested again at right tackle, and I think the Niners here, you can't afford to have a trap game. And after Arizona beat Dallas, you have to start to take them seriously, and you have to know that these two teams know each other well. Regardless of the record, it's a divisional game, and you have to anticipate this could be a tough and physical matchup. With that, we propose our question of the day. Get those predictions in. Who you got? ARI for the Arizona Cardinals, SF for the San Francisco 49ers. I think the Niners, from my prediction, they win this game by a final score of 31-17. Before we continue to break this game down, Prize Picks is a brand new sponsor on board with us here at Chat Sports and on the Niners Report, the best app for easy and exciting daily fantasy, and you get a 100% deposit match at prizepicks.com/CLNS. Let's tell you more about what this app exactly has to offer. Daily fantasy made easy. Pick 2+ players. Choose them to go more or less than their projected stat total. And this is an app that has really been able to change my life. And I love using it every single Sunday, but also for multiple sports too. I've been playing it for a while. I have no idea why I waited so long. And when you use that code CLNS, first deposit match up to $100. Prize Picks offers weekly promotions that can lead to big payouts like Taco Tuesday. Each Tuesday, Prize Picks discounts select player projections up to 25% to provide even more value. And Prize Picks now offers Apple Pay for quick and easy deposits into your account this football season. Instead of battling versus thousands of other players, including pros and sharks, you just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projected stats, and place your entry. Going into Sunday, these are some of my selections. I like Joshua Dobbs to go under 188.5 passing yards. I'm going less there, less for Josh Dobbs, 188.5 passing yards. I'm going more than Christian McCaffrey, 86.5 rushing yards. I'm going to go less James Conner, 55.5 rushing yards. And there are picks for all types of games and all types of players that you can find on the app as well. That link's going to be available for you down in the comment section as well as in the description of this video. Prize Picks, the most fun I've had, winning up to 25 times my money this football season. Prize Picks offers weekly promotions that can lead to those big payouts that I talked about. One more time, prizepicks.com/CLNS. Link is hanging out down in the chat. Now, of course, with this game, NFC West standings, you have to take a look at that to see how teams are faring so far in this division. Los Angeles Rams crashing down to earth a little bit. Back-to-back losses to San Francisco and to the Cincinnati Bengals on Monday Night Football after that surprise win Week 1 against Seattle. You have the Cardinals tied with the Rams at 1-2. Seahawks back-to-back victories. Week 2 on the road against Detroit. And then Week 3 outlasting the Carolina Panthers. And then the 49ers here 3-0 atop the NFC West. An important statistical figure that I think certainly displays the Niners' dominance here is point differential. Miami, they just put up 70 points, and they won by 50, right? So their point differential already going to be higher than anybody else. It's at plus 59. Surprisingly, even though the Buffalo Bills lost Week 1 to the New York Jets, they have a point differential of 56. They blew out the Commies this past weekend. San Francisco, easy victories, able to cover the spread, plus 48. Dallas plus 48, and then the Cleveland Browns. Jim Schwartz, their new defensive coordinator, has been excellent for that team. Niners-Browns in a few weeks, going to be a sneaky good matchup as we look ahead. And when you canvass the league right now, I think the Niners are the best all-around team in football. They can hit you in a variety of ways. Running it with Christian McCaffrey, throwing it to Brandon Aiyuk, Deebo Samuel, George Kittle. Defensively, stout against the run, very good against the pass. And because of that, the Niners are number 1 in Super Bowl odds after week 3 going into week 4. Plus 550 are the odds for the Niners to win the Super Bowl. Chiefs at plus 600, Eagles at 7-1 odds, Bills at 9-1, and then the Dolphins at 9-1. I gave you my score prediction a little bit earlier. Now in the comments section, I want you to predict the score of this NFC West game on Sunday. Arizona on the road against San Francisco. And now let's segue to this. My keys to the game. Arizona's success. Number 6 in rushing yards per game this year is running the football. So you have to stop the Cardinals' run game. You do that, you stack the box, and you force Josh Dobbs to beat you. I don't think Dobbs is going to be able to beat you if he's trying to sling the rock. Number 2, send pressure and blitz pressure up the middle. Don't be surprised if Steve Wilks does more of what he did in week 3. We saw a lot of 5-man fronts and a lot of blitzes. And if I see Fred Warner, Talanoa Hufanga getting blitzed up the middle, Steve Wilks knows that the interior of that Cardinals offensive line is not good, and that's how you can alter this game. No trap game mindset is another key. San Francisco cannot expect to just roll over Arizona here. I understand that the Niners are feeling themselves. They have not lost a regular season game since October 23rd of 2022. They're rolling. But Arizona, they can beat you if you don't bring your A game. I also want to see San Francisco run right at Arizona because the interior of their defensive line is not all that good. And frankly, I thought that the Dallas Cowboys got a little bit too cute and finesse with their game plan. And then number 5, Brock Purdy needs to be a little bit more crisp. I know that Brock Purdy has been excellent targeting the intermediate area of the field, 10 to 19 yards. Pass plays of 10 plus. Highest quarterback rating in the NFL. But can you imagine what this offense can look like if he hits a couple more of those throws that he should be able to make? It could be scary hours for the rest of the league. Round out with the Niners injury report here. Deebo Samuel, ribs. Dre Greenlaw, ankle. Both of those players day to day. We'll see as the week progresses what goes on with Ambry Thomas dealing with that knee injury. Demetrius Flanagan fouls, backup linebacker, good special teamer with an ankle. And then Jawan Jennings seen on Monday on the side field. The expectation is that he's going to be able to play. And then Brandon Aiyuk did return to practice on Monday as well. By all accounts, he's expected to play on Sunday as well. Another reminder, join us Sunday, Niners-Cardinals watch party, this massive NFC West game. Subscribe, turn on those notifications, and we'll see you come game time.